You've got 14 minutes and 57 seconds left to send to press. The writer submits to the editor submits to the designer. This is the next step in that whole handoff process. Naturally, being late for this causes quite a lot of trouble. Who is this? 56, 55. Who the fuck is this now? I've seen this dude before. He's been on the train. Kano was suspicious of him. A slender man with a gaudy necktie entered the room and sat down on the nearest desk, staring fixedly at his pocket watch. Minurikawa narrowed his eyes dubiously. Who the hell are you? Always make sure to show up 15 minutes ahead of the appointed time. That's just common decency. The man gave no indication he'd even heard Minurikawa's question. I suppose I can wait here, he continued. Just for another 14 minutes and 20 seconds. Mr. Mino? Is this guy talking about our submission? Jackie stared doubtfully at the newcomer. Hey you, Minurikawa asked. Are you from the printer? But the man did not reply. Just fucking, I don't know. Beat him. Beat him up. Don't ignore me. Are you from the printer? Still the man remained silent. Minurikawa was furious. Look, cut the crap, he roared. In response, the man quietly reached into his suit pocket and pulled out his business card. Finally, man, dude. Don't be annoying. My name is not. Hey, you. He handed the card to Minurikawa. It read, Cho Nippon Printing Company Limited. Sales Department Division Number 1, Koichiro Katayama. I'm Koichiro Katayama, newly assigned to Heaven Publishing. A pleasure to meet you. My predecessor is in the hospital due to a car accident. Sachio Uzui, 39 years old, single. A long-time veteran at Cho Nippon Printing. Rather timid by nature, the strain of dealing with publishers makes him sick to his stomach. At around 1:10 p.m. earlier today, while driving to meet with one of his clients, he had to swerve to avoid a young man and woman who darted onto the street. Fucking achi. He crashed into the car next to him and ended up at the hospital. He should make a complete recovery in about 2 months. Damn, that's a long time. Well, what are you doing here, Katayama? Minurikawa asked. I thought we had until 8 o'clock to complete proofreading. 8 o'clock? Surely you must be joking. Our company's proofing deadline is 5:30. Katayama stared fixedly back at Minurikawa. Now that had to be a joke. I heard from the editor-in-chief that it was 8 o'clock. I take that to mean then that you don't have any copy for us. It's not that we don't have it, Minurikawa said. It's just not finished yet. Just hold on until 8. Katayama raised an eyebrow. No. Publisher and printer need to work in concert. Perhaps my predecessor was the sort who delayed the proofing deadline owing to your circumstances here. But now I'm in charge, and I do not make exceptions. The proofing deadline is 5:30 sharp. Can we just stab this fucker? And I intend to keep it that way. And while we've been having this discussion, you're down to 12 minutes and 32 seconds. Katayama held out his pocket watch as if to emphasize the point. That's ridiculous, Minurikawa exclaimed. Just who the hell do you think you are? You guys are going to be printing a paper that I wrote. Do you even know how lucky that makes you? So just wait, okay? Just give us until 8 o'clock. Just give us 3 more days. Just give us till we're done. Let's go with the sensible. It was the original understanding. It was unfair to change it now. 8 o'clock, And where's your guarantee that you'll finish by then? We will. Just trust me. I'm supposed to heedlessly trust the word of a man I've just met? Katayama mused. We're down to 10 minutes and 46 seconds, by the way. You son of a bitch! Don't get all high and mighty just because you work for the printer. High and mighty? I'd say it's the people on the publishing side of the things that act high and mighty. Whatever high-minded claims you might make, without us, you'd have nothing to put on the store shelves. Forgetting that and blithely ignoring your proofing deadline makes for more work on our end. Just what are you getting at, I wonder? Now it's 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Minurikawa ground his teeth so hard he could hear it. His usual tactics were useless here. He can't intimidate him, he can't bluff his way through. Damn it, Minurikawa. Katayama was simply too unflappable to be browbeaten. If you back down now though, it was game over. 10 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. I realize there's little point, but I'll wait until the designated time. It's just common decency. Katayama's pet phrase. Thus far he has said, let's just common decency, 3 times in the story. Always make sure to show up 50 minutes ahead of time. I realize this little point, but I'll wait until the designated time. There was one more. Do you know when and where it was? Yeah, in the train, right? Katayama's eyes were once again locked on his pocket watch. It was no use. Minurikawa couldn't find a way to talk this guy around. So now what? Jackie held her hand up. May I say something? Is she gonna take one for the team? Jackie, you're a hero. Isn't it also common decency not to break a promise once it's been made? If you're referring to the 8 o'clock deadline, I was not the one who promised that. Maybe not, but I believe your predecessor's responsibilities become your responsibilities. Katayama crossed his arms and gave her a bemused look. What's your name, miss? Chiaki, she said bashfully. Chiaki Izo. The printer's expression brightened visibly. Good. That timid hesitation of yours is just splendid. You have none of the arrogance so typical among publishers. Huh? Chiaki was taken rather aback. In deference to your polite demeanor, I shall wait until 7 o'clock. That is the latest I can possibly allow. All right, Minurikawa shouted practically in Katayama's face. We agree to those terms. No, I wasn't talking to... But we've got terms of our own. Katayama reeled ever so slightly. I'm not certain you're in any position to set terms here. Just shut up and listen. From here on out, you're coming with us. What? 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 Why? We're going to finish up our copy on site, then burn the data onto CD and hand it over to you there. That's why. Katayama let out a sigh of resignation. Oh, very well. I suppose I'd simply be waiting here anyway. Minurikawa pumped his fists in victory. Alright, Chiaki. Go and copy the DTP data we've got so far onto your computer. Sure thing, Mr. Mino. Chiaki quickly set about copying the data from the editing department's desktop. Okay, done. Then let's go. With the others in tow, Minurikawa headed for the cafe where Toyama would be waiting. They reached Café L'Autre without incident, and Minurikawa promptly spotted the publisher. Over here, Toyama hissed, eyeing his surroundings with obvious unease. Is he sitting in the plants? Hana sat by his side, suddenly sipping on some juice. The waitress came over as Minurikawa joined them. May I take your order? She asked. And then she sees who's... Minurikawa's face. He just looks at her as if he didn't shout at her earlier. Water. Just water, sir? Fine, make it a double. Exasperated, the waitress headed back to the kitchen. Ah, double water. Nice. Toyama looked over at Katayama. Who's this guy? I'm Koichiro Katayama from Cho Nippon Printing. Katayama presented his business card. Toyama turned to Minurikawa with a quizzical look. What's someone from the printer doing with you? I'll explain later. There's no time for that right now, Minurikawa replied. He's sitting on another table entirely. Also, what the fuck is wrong with Chiaki's laptop? First, I need you to answer some questions. Does the name Kenji Ozawa ring any bells? Ozawa? Toyama closed his eyes in thought. He heads up a laboratory at Koshi Pharmaceutical. You ran a piece on him in the first ever issue of 4-Star General Gossip. Also, what the fuck is that green juice? It looks deliciously poisonous. Toyama's face lit up with recognition. Ah yes, that political marriage piece. Yeah, that one. Do you remember the details from that article? Of course. Who do you think I am? Toyama puffed himself up proudly. I used to be local news editor, copy editor for the Central Times. I've got the details for all the stuff I've ever covered here in my head. In that case, do you know who Kenji Ozawa's wife was dating before they got married? Toyama blinked his eyes vacantly. Hey, what's the matter? Minurikawa asked. This is a pretty tough pop quiz you're giving me. Surprise, kids! It's time for a science quiz. What colorless, odorless gas, lighter than air? Lighter than? What? Lighter than and air? I guess lighter than air, right? And used for consumer and municipal gas applications is also known as marsh gas, swamp gas. Helium, ethylene, propane, or methane. I guess if it's swamp gas or marsh gas, it's methane? Tune in next time for the answer, okay. Cut the crap, man. You just said you have all the details inside your head. Oh, they're in here, alright? They're just not coming out. Mirikawa slumped. Mr. Toyama, please. Whether or not you'll be able to pay off your debts depends on your memory here. Hearing this, Hana cast a cold glare up at her father. Damn it. Alright, I can remember. Oh, I can at least try. Toyama folded his arms and hummed to himself, his gaze turned inward. So I feel like it was a really common name. Sato, Chiaki chirped. Yamada, was it either of those? They're pretty common names, are they? But Toyama shook his head. Mirikawa offered a guess of his own. Suzuki, Takashi, Endo, Tanaka. Tanaka. No, not that. It was something else. Who was she dating? Just then the television inside the cafe switched over to a news report on the Shibuya explosion. The remains of the individual discovered within the minivan itself, who has since been identified as pharmaceutical company executive Mamoru Tanaka. Mamoru Tanaka? Toyama turned around to look at the TV. I just said Tanaka. An image of the victim's face appeared on the screen. Bah, the publisher blurted, nearly falling out of his seat. That's it. It was him right there. Mamoru Tanaka. That's what I said. Tanaka. Toyama pointed excitedly at the TV screen. That's who Kenji Ozawa's wife was dating before they got married? Mamoru Tanaka. Mirikawa felt himself getting goosebumps. The victim of the terrorist bombing in Shibuya was also linked to the researcher who was key to a terrorist viral scare. His reporter's hunch was now a certainty. Right now, Shibuya was at the center of some massive conspiracy. This went far beyond even a major scoop. Mr. Toyama, we need to make sure that next month's issue hits shelves. Oh, it looks delicious. Mirikawa called up Kenji Ozawa to let him know the results of his little investigation. The man didn't seem terribly surprised. Probably he'd had his suspicions all along. Ozawa told him that there was something he needed to do before he was ready to give details on the big scoop, but that he would call back later. In the meantime, Mirikawa knew he'd have his hands full getting the current issue of the gossip wrapped up for the 7 o'clock deadline. He slapped his hands down on the table. Alright, emergency editing meeting right here, he announced. We need to get a lead in on the Shibuya terrorist bombing into the next issue. The article about the twins winning the beauty contest can be dropped for that. We'll use the info from Kenji Ozawa as the basis for our big scoop at the issue after that. Mr. Toyama, any problems with that? No, it should be fine. But what about the remaining pages for next month's issue? Mirikawa opened the file on his computer. The layout built in the DTP came up on the monitor. The report on the Burning Hammer sales demo, the surveillance camera opinion piece, the interview with Orai. Those 3 were finished, the copy already incorporated into the later layout. Once Chiaki's street interview piece was loaded in, that one could be checked off as well. Chiaki, how's your copy coming along? I'm sorry, I just need a little bit longer. The writing seemed to still be giving her a fair bit of trouble. The article on SOS was still just a placeholder in the layout, and Mirikawa hadn't even gotten any material for that, putting it even further behind than Chiaki's street interviews. Still, he'd at least learned where Shibuya's legendary street gang made their hangout. He'd just have to take the risk of dropping in on them unannounced to ambush them with some interview questions. Take a look at the Yanagishita at the bottom. And then there was the lead-in for Shibuya bombing. That wasn't even in the layout yet. It was a completely blank slate. Against all odds, they were going to need to put that article together from nothing with just an hour and change. It was an impossible amount of work for just him and Chiaki to do. Well. And how are things coming along? I guess it's the printer dude, yeah. Katayama rose and came closer, trying to peer at the monitor. Mirikawa hurried to cover the screen. Don't look! If the printer rep saw all the blank pages, he might decide to stop waiting. Do you mind telling me roughly what percent of the total you have completed thus far? What percent? Come off it, man! We're at 100%. If you're 100% done, that implies that you're all finished. Could I please have the data then? No, I'm saying our willpower's at 100%. I'm not even going to pretend I understand what you mean by that. Shaking his head, Katayama sat back down in his chair. Minurikawa, Toyama asked, his expression uneasy. So I know I asked before, but why is someone from the printer here again? Katayama promptly chimed in. The long and short of it is that your proving deadline has been changed to 7 o'clock, he said. What? But that's impossible. Who's doing the lead-in for the Shibuya bombing? Toyama eyed Minurikawa and then Chiaki both stared back non-committally. And it really is impossible. We'll never meet that deadline. Don't tell him. We don't have enough people. No, we do have enough. Minurikawa thrust out his finger. Mr. Toyama, you're going to write that one and handle the layout. What? Heaven Publishing is your company. Won't you step up in order to protect it? Toyama hung his head. Don't be a cuck. Come on, do it. Even if I headed to the scene right now, I'm sure the other outlets have already gotten their coverage. I wouldn't be able to find anything new to write about. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, damn, son. They're all just... Oh, well, that happened. And so you're just going to give up? A moment later, Toyama was on the floor, Minurikawa glaring down at him. You've always said you wanted to tell the world about the things the mass media can't or won't write about. So what the hell difference does it make if they've already gotten the sound bites they're after? Minurikawa's voice was raw with emotion. Don't you dare give up. Not that easily. Get your ass out there. Find something that only you can write about. Minurikawa. Toyama began to object, then he glanced over at Hana. Damn, she fucking hates her dad, doesn't she? There was an imploring look in her eyes as well. I get what you're saying, Toyama grumbled, but still, you're expecting a lot. But then, despite his words, he flashed a broad grin. Yeah, Minurikawa let out a quiet chuckle. And it's got you all fired up. Yeah, I'm fired up alright. Toyama's face shone with resolve Minurikawa hadn't seen in a long time. There we go, that's the Toyama I know. Jesus. You know, I'm really sorry. Now I see the huge burden I put on you. But damn it, it's going to be alright. Getting to his feet, Toyama took his daughter by the hand and strode boldly out of the cafe, looking like a changed man. All it took was one hit to the face. Minurikawa watched him go, glad the differing was over. Even if Toyama was still in his prime, he'd be cutting it close to do that article in an hour. But he would pull through somehow. When it came to taking care of Hana, the man would rise to the occasion again and again. Father and daughter disappeared into the crowd, hand in hand. How beautiful, isn't it? Minurikawa shook himself out of his reverie. Alright, he cried. Despite a clear blue sky, an unexpected gust of wind blew across his cheek. Come on guys, we gotta get going too. Things might look grim, but he wasn't going to give up until the bitter end. It was time to head to the SOS hangout, Inferno. Nice, we're gonna do that now, I guess? The three ran long and hard after leaving the cafe. What, even the printer's running? Wow. If the proving deadline was 7 o'clock, then they needed to finish up with SOS by 6:30 at the latest. The gang's hangout was in Uraharajuku. Running all the way there on foot was going to eat into too much of their time. Oh, the traffic is still fucked though. But traffic was at a near standstill for some reason, and there wasn't a taxi in sight. How long do you plan on running like this? Katayama called out, panting. Just take a look at the road. With this traffic, there's no point in hailing a cab. Even Minurikawa was feeling the time pressure now. We're just gonna have to keep running until the road's clear. What? Katayama wailed. Stop your whining. Just keep quiet and stick with me. He'd finally gotten Toyama to find his willpower again. Next month's issue would come out on time, and no way was some printer guy going to mess it up now. But the traffic showed no signs of abating. Catching a cab wasn't going to be an option. Fighting an ever louder echo of despair, Minurikawa kept up his desperate headlong rush. To rush into a situation recklessly or heedlessly, not quite the same as being Daredevil. Still, there were limits to how far the mind could push the body before exhaustion set in. Eek! Oh shit. Oh crap! She really fell. Ouch! As they were running across a pedestrian overpass, Chiaki slipped and took a nasty fall. She skinned her knee hard enough to draw blood. Hey you! Mirakawa snapped at Katayama. Don't just stand there. Help the poor girl already. I think he has a soft spot for her, so that's perfect. Katayama scurried over to Chiaki. I'm sorry, Mr. Mino. Chiaki's voice bubbled with suppressed tears. Maybe it was cruel to make a run with a computer all the way to Uraharajuku. But the copy for her interview still needed to be looked over. They couldn't just leave her here. So how do we do that? Mirakawa hesitated, undecided. Even at a full run they wouldn't make it in time. With traffic the way it was, there was nothing they could do. You now have... Katayama consulted his pocket watch. Exactly, 1 hour remaining. Damn it, Mirakawa raged. What do we do? Relentlessly, the clock ticked on. What do we do? Ah, it's a TBC that early? I guess we cleared Mirakawa's story then, for this time block. Amazing, it's also a perfect place to stop, I think. So next time, we start the other ones. Kano, Achi, and Osawa. Goodbye.